The only thing that separates one people from another is the wall inside their heads when they forget we are all brothers. The only thing that separates one people from another is the wall inside their heads when they forget we are all brothers. One day I traveled to Berlin where the wall was. They tore it down in '89 in the name of love, but to some of us the wall still stands, and to some it never did. The problem lies not in the stones, but in the minds that built it. The only thing that separates one people from another is the wall inside their heads when they forget we are all brothers. The only thing that separates one people from another is the wall inside their heads when they forget we are all brothers. Everyone around the world all feel the same emotions. The children know what Lenin said, that all we need is love. We've glorified the intellect and sacrificed the heart. Let's blow the walls to kingdom come. We all can do our part, yeah. The only thing that separates one people from another is the wall inside their heads when they forget we are all brothers. The only thing that separates one people from another is the wall inside their heads when they forget we are all brothers. Paradise is nothing but a state of mind when there's love in your heart. Unity is waiting just around the bend. Now's the time for us to do our part. The only thing that separates one people from another is the wall inside their heads when they forget we are all brothers. The only thing that separates one people from another is the wall inside their heads when they forget we are all brothers. The only thing that separates one people from another is the wall inside their heads when they forget we are all brothers. The only thing that separates one people from another is the wall inside their heads when they forget we are all brothers.
I wish this virus would go away. I'm in a real-life version of Groundhog Day. I got the blues, quarantine blues. On tour in Chicago, that March day on top of the world. Things were going my way. Started hearing about a virus, a tragic ordeal. When I got back to Nashville, it was getting real. All my shows canceled left and right. Things were gonna get worse when I was leaving inside. I got the blues, quarantine blues. I got the blues, yeah, quarantine blues. I wish that virus would go away. I'm in a real-life version of Groundhog Day. I got the blues, quarantine blues. They started closing up shops, closed the schools, closed down the churches and the honky-tonks too, closed the restaurants, closed the parks, rolling up the sidewalks after dark. The biggest thrills at the grocery store, fighting over toilet paper, and then I said, Ma, I got the blues, the blues. Quarantine blues. Well, your dog can get a bath, but you can't cut your hair. And unless it's essential, you can't go anywhere. You better be sure when you leave your home, they're tracking every move on your cell phone. Never thought I'd live to see this nightmare called a new reality. I got the blues. Quarantine blues, I got the blues. Yeah, quarantine blues. I wish that virus would go away. I'm in a real life version of Groundhog Day. I got the blues. Quarantine blues. I got the blues, yeah. Quarantine blues.
Woe to me, I'm undone. Unclean lips and a warrior tongue. When I'm with you, silence best becomes me. But love and flames and I'm constrained to speak. If my eyes could see the fire that consumes me, to embrace this love and what it does to me, I need to know the unapproachable. I need to hide in arms unconditional. Becomes me, then love and flames and I'm constrained to speak. If my eyes could see the fire that consumes me, to embrace this love and what it does to me, I need to wanna be
problem God can't solve, no situation that love can't resolve. You got to pray it away. Oh, pray it away. Oh, you can pray it away every day. Oh, focus on your heart, that's what you do. Everything you need will just come to you. Troubles and confusion will fade away when you take the time to meditate. Oh, pray it away. Oh, pray it away. Oh, you got to pray it away every day. Oh, yeah. Pray it away. Pray it away. Oh, you got to pray it away every day. Sit right down, close your eyes, feel your breath and recognize there ain't no problem God can't solve, no situation that love can't You got to pray it away. Pray it away. Got to pray it away every day.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Hello and welcome to the People of Diversity Sunday service. We believe there are many paths to one divinity and we are a multi-faith community. So if you'd like to know more information about the pod, People of Diversity, go to www.podpeopleofdiversity.org and there'll be some announcements after the message, so stick around.
So our present topic is justice. Last week we heard from our Jewish representative, Rabbi Pat Hickman. She was accompanied by Michaela Townsend. That was very angelic. Today we'll hear from our Shaman representative, Jerry Nettesheim, and Sister Jennifer Farron from up in the Carolinas. Next week, our Christian representative, back up in those Smoky Mountains, our friend Les Rust, will be bringing us the Christian perspective on justice with Neil McNaughton out of Southern Ontario, sharing some beautiful, amazing music. So without further ado, let's dive into this week.
Hi, Pod family. Jennifer Farron here from Atlanta, Georgia, sending all of you wonderful love and blessings today. And with all of that love and zeal and enthusiasm and positivity, this is a song that honors the haves and the have-nots. And although we all strive on our spiritual path to remember and to hold the balance and equality and love for all, and to realize that we are all one, sometimes it's very challenging when those of us that are in power and those of us that hold a lot more financial wealth and a lot more corporate and world influence, it's hard for us to justify when the scales become so vastly unbalanced that unjust and unfair things happen. And so this song is called What is Fair? I just wrote it, so I'm going to be looking down at the keys a lot and not right at you guys. But I want to be able to get the take, and I want you guys to be able to appreciate the meaning of the song. And that means me focusing on my paper. So here we go. What is fair? The million-dollar question. Some people want a piece of pie, but they'll never get some. Some people have hopes and dreams, hoping just to land even one. Who is it that calls the shots? Why exclude the have-nots? Everybody, everywhere, please explain to me what is fair. What is fair? Some people are working hard, trying to make a living, just trying to pay their bills. Interest rates are unforgiving. Who is it that makes the rules, acting just like fools? Everybody, everywhere, please explain to me what is fair. Oh yeah, what is fair? That's right. There's certain people on earth controlling all the worth, trying to keep people down. It's time to turn it around. Why is there suffering in this land of plenty? Why do a chosen few try to undercut so many? What is it that in their hearts, do they even have one? Everybody, everywhere, please explain to me what is fair. Oh, what is fair? Please explain to me what is fair. Oh yeah, what is fair? We pray for balance, we pray for peace. We pray for simple common decency. What is fair? Well, tell me just what is fair. Please explain to me what is fair. Try to tell me, please, what is fair. Ah, what is fair? We don't know what's fair, but we sure are praying for it, aren't we? I love you guys. I send you the very best. Mwah. Hi again, everybody. The first song was a little bit of a protest song, and so now we're going to simmer down and lighten it up a little bit, right? We're going to balance it out. And it's really important for all of us to remember, especially if we feel blessed and if we really are conscious of our blessings and can live in that state of gratitude, to be able to put that out into the world and to be a blessing. We are blessed so that we can be a blessing. There's an actor, Sterling K. Brown, who was part of the series This Is Us. He was one of the triplets. And he's just a really cool guy. I heard him interviewed a while back. And his mom told him when he was little that we are blessed so that we can be a blessing. And so for those of us, when we have our moments of, feeling unbalanced and feeling ungrounded, open up and see the blessings around us. And when we're able to open up and be the blessing for other people to see, it's really important for us to do that right now. And I support all of us in doing our very best. And for the times that we need to see a blessing and to have people emote blessing behavior to us, take that and soak it in. And then when we're able to, give it back out to the world. We are blessed so we can be a blessing. We're a gift so we can give. We are wise, learning all those lessons. And we can be a blessing because we are blessed. Doing deeds of good because we are indeed a light, shining bright for all the world to see. Learning how to co-create a loving kind of way. Let's all count our blessings today. We are blessed so we can be a blessing. We're a gift so we can give. We are wise, learning all those lessons. And we can be a blessing because we are blessed. Random acts of kindness are indeed alive and well. Come on, y'all, let's do some every day. We can change the world with everything we do and say. So let's all be a blessing today. We are blessed so we can be a blessing. We're a gift so we can give. We are wise, learning all those lessons. And we can be a blessing because we are blessed. We can be a blessing because we are blessed. We can be a blessing because we are blessed. Ta-ta for now, everybody. Love you guys.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. There's a subject that we're going to talk about that's very near and dear to my heart, and that is justice, and specifically from a shamanic point of view. So, yeah, welcome. I came across a saying on my daily calendar recently that I have not been able to stop thinking about. And it said this, it said, failure is an event, not a person. And it was one of those moments when the words just kind of landed right here on my heart. They jumped off the page right into my heart. And you see, we live in a culture that often mistakes accountability and the doing for our identity. When things go wrong, we do this. As humans, we tend to take ownership of who we are as failures, and we most definitely see justice through that lens. We see it as a desire for retribution when we feel wronged. But what if we could shift that narrative from one of punishment to one of restoration? What if we could see justice as something that mends and heals, not as something that divides? Now, my mother, in all her wisdom, used to say to me, "You're really not sorry. You're just sorry that you got caught." Now, I'm sure that she didn't mean any harm by that. But as a child, that always stung. And now I can see that a lot of times in her world and in the world of a lot of other people, that's how we understand justice. Through shame and through utilizing shame as a way to correct behavior. But as I've gotten older, I've come to understand that accountability and shame, they are not the same thing. No. And more importantly, you and I, we are never just what we do. Okay? And we can take responsibility for our actions without losing our inherent ability to be good people, capable of making a positive difference. Now, today what I want to share with you is a different view of justice, okay? This is a shamanic view that holds justice as a process of restoration and not retribution. And this view is actually rooted in balance and in harmony and in understanding. So today, this talk that I'm sharing with you is going to be about that, and we'll also explore how we can use the wisdom of the 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz to guide us in discerning the intentions behind actions and how we can restore balance when the flow is disrupted. And I want to let you know that this is a subject that I've been drawn to because at various times in my life, I know that I've been quick to react when I've felt wronged. And it's easy to want quick, swift, and immediate retribution. However, as I've grown spiritually, and specifically as I've trained in the Peruvian shamanic lineage and learned about the Kero view on things, I've realized how much more powerful it is to approach justice through healing and through understanding rather than seeking vengeance. Now, we all encounter moments when we feel unjustly treated or we act out of our own hurt. But what if we stopped seeing these events as a final definitive chapter of defining who we are or what our situations are or what other people are, and instead started seeing them as opportunities for a fresh start, a chance for healing? So we're going to talk about how the Toltec and Kero shamans approach justice. Their approach is not focused on punishment. It's focused on healing, on restoring balance and harmony. Okay. Now, I had mentioned Don Miguel Ruiz and the book that he wrote called The 4 Agreements. And this Toltec teacher bridges the gap between the two shamanic traditions of Toltec and Kero. And their insights can guide us through this process of restoration. And we can also see that we can align ourselves with the Kero teachings of balance, of right relationship, and spiritual integrity. And it's through this lens, through these principles, that I'd like us to begin to examine our own role in justice and how we can transform conflict into an opportunity for healing and for growth. So before we dive a little deeper into these teachings, I'd like to briefly discuss the similarities between the Toltec and the Q'ero lineages and these branches of shamanism for context. There's the similarities between the two in that there's a spiritual cosmology and connection to nature. Both traditions view the earth and the cosmos as interconnected, with deep reverence for nature as a spiritual force. The Q'ero honor Pachamama, Mother Earth, while the Toltec see nature as a reflection of spiritual truths. And sometimes we see that as well when we hear the statements of as above, so below in different spiritual traditions. They believe that everything, every person, every animal, every rock, every tree is interconnected. And this interconnectedness informs their view on justice, where every act of harm or imbalance impacts the whole. The path of the warrior. The Toltec emphasize self-mastery and discipline through the warrior's path, aiming for spiritual enlightenment and freedom from ego. Now, the Q'ero, they similarly seek wisdom and balance through shamanic practices, focusing on spiritual development. And for both branches, justice involves moving beyond ego and beyond self-interest, seeking healing and balance instead of vengeance and retaliation. Both traditions pass down wisdom through spiritual guides or shamans. You have Toltec Naguals who teach self-mastery, while the Q'ero shamans guide others in energy work, healing, and spiritual alignment. And in both traditions, the shaman acts as a mediator, helping individuals and communities restore balance when conflict or other imbalances arise. There are certain ceremonial practices that are performed to restore balance and honor the sacred. The Q'ero ceremonies like despachos and fire rituals align with the Toltec's focus on honoring spirits through rituals and offerings. Now, these ceremonies not only restore balance, but they also teach us about the flow of energy and how it impacts our relationships with each other and the world around us. Healing and restorative practices. Both traditions emphasize healing, not just physical, but also emotional, mental, and spiritual. Q'ero and Toltec shamans work with energy to restore harmony and guide individuals towards wholeness. Now, the goal of justice in both traditions is, again, to restore the flow of energy and reestablish balance, not through punishment, but through reconciliation and healing. Now, as we move into the rest of this topic, I'd like to bring up two different ways, two different Quechua, Q'ero phrases that inform how the Pacos, or the Q'ero shamans, dispense their duties as ones who facilitate justice. Now, the Q'eros, as well as the Toltecs, are people who are the last direct descendants of the Inca civilization, and they hold very deep spiritual traditions that have been passed down through thousands of years. Now, these are shamans who have maintained a close relationship, a living, working relationship with nature, seeing the world as a living and breathing entity. Some folks call that animism. And there's this belief that everything, every person, every tree, every rock, every pebble, every creepy crawly thing, every star, planet, and moon is interconnected. And this concept is called Kausay. Kausay, Kausay. And this is a term that refers to life or living. It is that vitality, that essence of being. It's about engaging with life itself and aligning with the flow of energy in a way that honors all aspects of existence. There's no aspect whatsoever that is separate from spirit, from our spirituality. And to live in Kausay is to live with reverence for all of the sacredness of life, fully embracing one's connection with the earth, with one another, and with the cosmos. Now, their spiritual practices focus on living in balance with the earth, with the cosmos, and with each other. And for the Keros, that means that justice is automatically about balance. It's about restoring harmony in the face of imbalance rather than enforcing punishment or revenge. Now, the Kero also teach a concept called Aini, which refers to reciprocity, and that's the principle of balanced exchange. Now, Aini is the foundation for all relationships, whether with humans, with nature, or with the spiritual world. And it emphasizes that for harmony to exist, there must be mutual respect, mutual care, mutual balance between all things. And it's in this way that Aini speaks to the importance of being in right relationship, where each person and being gives and receives in harmony, and imbalance is corrected through healing and reconciliation. So when these concepts are combined, Aini and Kausay guide us to understand that living in right relationship is not just about exchange, but also it's about living with integrity, with care, with balance in all of our interactions. It's not about blame. It's not about shame. It's about healing, restoring balance, and maintaining a harmonious flow between ourselves and the world around us. So how does this information inform the shamanic view of justice? Well, in the shamanic view of justice, these two principles that we just discussed, Aini and Kausay, are crucial. They are critical. Justice is not seen as a legal or punitive process, but as a restorative one. It's a restorative practice, one focused on returning to balance. Okay. In this way, Aini provides a framework for how justice is practiced. So if there is a wrong committed, the goal is not to punish the wrongdoer, but to restore the flow of energy that was disrupted. It's about righting the imbalance through reciprocity. The injured party may offer forgiveness, and the wrongdoer may offer healing in the form of making reparations, depending upon the situation. And this process restores harmony, making the community as a whole stronger rather than fractured. That's the goal, to be stronger rather than fractured. We could learn a huge lesson about that. Now, at the same time, that other concept we talked about a moment ago, Kausay, the vitality of life, it reminds us that justice is not just a cold transaction of righting wrongs, but it's about honoring life itself. True justice means recognizing the sacredness of all beings. Recognizing the sacredness of all beings and honoring that each person has their own life force, their own connection to the universe. And when we bring justice into the equation, it's not simply to balance the scales, but to restore the full flow of life energy to each individual and the collective involved in that said circumstance. Now, the shaman, as a mediator, works within this framework, and they do not impose judgment, but instead help facilitate the restoration of balance, whether through ceremonies like despacho, energy healing, or spiritual rituals. These ceremonies offer a way to restore Aini, ensuring that there's an energetic flow that benefits all the parties involved. The shaman helps to heal the energetic balances caused by injustice so that both the victim and the perpetrator can move forward in balance and harmony. Now, this view of justice, it requires a profound shift in our perspective. It means moving away from a punitive system that seeks to retribute or exact punishment and toward a system that seeks restoration. Now, traditional models of justice often focus on assigning blame, meting out a sentence, and categorizing an individual as guilty or innocent. And those two roles can only be the thing that the person can be. There is such a sense of finality to this kind of justice, and once the sentence is given, the matter is closed. But Aini and Kause teach us that justice is not about reaching an endpoint. It's an ongoing process. It is a living practice that flows like a river, adapting and adjusting as we move forward. Now, restorative justice, it asks us to think beyond a single moment of retribution. And instead, it focuses on the restoration of balance over time, recognizing that true healing takes time and care. It emphasizes healing the wounds caused by the harm, whether to individuals, whether to relationships or communities, and it focuses on working together to restore harmony, rather than simply isolating the wrongdoer or focusing on punishment. It calls for a continual commitment, a continuous commitment to return to balance. And it acknowledges that this is a dynamic process that can involve change, adaptation, and continued reflection. It's not a one and done process. However, as we embrace this shift from punishment to restoration, we also need to recognize another thing that's very important. Not everything that is harmed can be fully restored or recovered. Some wounds can be so deep that while healing is possible, the original condition can never return. Whether it's a loss of trust or a breakdown of relationship, or harm done to the earth, or a loss of life. The process of restoration doesn't necessarily erase the pain or bring everything back to the way it was before the harm, the trespass occurred. In Aini and Kause, we also understand that justice is not about returning to an idealized pre-harm state, but rather about finding a way to move forward in integrity and in understanding and a commitment to balance. This realization forces us to confront the fact that not everything in life can be fixed the way that we wish it could be or the way that we think it should be. And yet there's a profound, bittersweet beauty in this effort itself, because in that effort to restore, there is growth and there is transformation. Now, what that means is that we must hold space for the understanding that not all harm is repairable. And this requires of us a level of humility and acceptance. We must acknowledge that there are certain losses or wounds that cannot be undone. But that doesn't mean that the journey towards justice and healing should stop. In fact, this is where the true power lies in restorative justice. It's about moving forward with a heart that's been cracked open or broken open, but yet it's still open to learning. It's an openness and a willingness to see what comes next, to be curious about what beauty can be cultivated from the rubble. And it does require, again, a commitment to creating balance even in that face of irreparable loss. Now, as I said earlier, the role of the shaman in Carol culture is one of that of a spiritual mediator. Shamans work to restore harmony between the physical and the spiritual realms, and between people when conflict arises. They do not see themselves as judges, rather they are healers who facilitate the restoration of balance. And in this way, a shaman is more like a bridge than a ruler or a judge. And so when there's disharmony in the community or between individuals, the shamans use their gifts to help heal the energies involved and clear blockages and restore peace. One of the things that a shaman must do is be discerning in matters that require justice. So how can we learn to do the same, to show that same level of discernment? How can we learn to be less reactive when seeking justice? Well, this is where the tenets of the 4 agreements come in handy. Now, the wisdom within the 4 agreements offers us a very beautiful and tangible and practical way to discern the true intention behind a trespass or any form of conflict. Now, these teachings by Don Miguel Ruiz give us a roadmap for cultivating personal integrity and responsibility, which can then be applied to how we engage with justice. They guide us to look beyond our immediate emotional response and understand that the deeper currents of intention that guide action come into play. So, how does each agreement help us to understand what's really happening when we feel wronged or hurt? Let's take a closer look. First agreement: be impeccable with your word. This first agreement is probably one of the most powerful ones, because the shaman knows that, and most of us know, that our words have energy. They have the ability to set things into motion. They shape our world. They shape our relationships. and even our perception of ourselves. I could tell somebody that they have timeless beauty, or I could tell them that they have a face that could stop a clock. Now, one will get me an awe and possibly a hug, and the other one might get me a black eye. When you break the words down in context, though, they both mean the same, right? So, this is just a silly example of how our words have power. But being impeccable with our words requires us to pause and reflect on what's happening beneath the surface of the words. Are they speaking from a place of anger or hurt? Are their words a reflection of their own pain or their lack of understanding? What if we were able to respond rather than react? Now, when we speak with integrity, we break the cycle of harm. The Karo shamans understood this deeply, and they knew and know that words can either create harmony or disrupt the energetic flow. And by choosing words that align with truth, with love, with care, with respect, we contribute to the restoration of balance in our relationships and in our communities. The second agreement is this: don't take anything personally. Now, this agreement offers us a radical shift in our perspective. The Toltec and the Karo both believe that people's actions are often projections of their own struggles and fears. When someone lashes out, it's rarely about us. It's more about what they've got going on inside. Now, this agreement asks us to develop the emotional wisdom to take a step back and recognize that others' actions are a reflection of their internal world, not a direct commentary on our worth or value. It doesn't mean that we should ignore harmful actions and words. Rather, it means that we don't need to internalize that stuff, okay? We don't allow it to destabilize us. Now, when we practice not taking things seriously, or personally rather, we maintain our peace and we can approach situations with compassion rather than offense. Now, the third agreement is this: when we approach it that way, we don't have to make assumptions. Don't make assumptions, which is a practice that prevents a whole lot of unnecessary suffering. Now, our minds are designed to protect ourselves, and in order to protect ourselves, our brains recognize patterns, and they love. Our brains love to fill in the gaps of a story. Okay? Our minds are naturally inclined to fill in these gaps, creating stories about other people's intentions and behaviors. Now, these assumptions often lead to misunderstandings, further conflict, and even resentment. Now, the Karo have a saying: look deeply before you judge. So instead of assuming, let's take some time to ask questions. Practice active and open listening, okay? And engage in meaningful conversation. By not assuming, we create space for clarity, okay? And this also creates space for understanding, and it restores balance in our relationships and helps us avoid conflict born out of miscommunication. And finally, the fourth agreement is always do your best. The Karo place great emphasis on us doing our best. Now, this is not a nod to perfectionism, not in a way that bows down to perfection, because there's going to be times when our actions vary based on whether we're hungry, angry, lonely, tired, what time of day it is, the status of our health. but it's always about doing your best, okay? And doing our best means showing up with integrity, being honest with ourselves about our limits, and putting our whole heart into what it is that we're doing. Because there's peace in knowing that you've given something your all, even when things did not turn out the way that you thought they would. Now, when we approach justice this way, by doing our best to heal and restore harmony, we free ourselves from guilt, shoulda, woulda, couldas, any regrets, and we can open ourselves up for the natural flow of forgiveness and healing. All we have to do is be willing. So stopping to pause and reflect on these 4 agreements can help us, really help us in situations to not be so hasty with ourselves and with others when trespasses occur. It gives us time to step back and pause versus react. We can respond instead of react. So today we've explored the Carroll perspective on justice and examined it as a process of healing, of balance, and of collective responsibility. And we've also looked at the 4 agreements and how these things can guide us in our understanding of how we can have a space or have a role in restoring balance rather than seeking retribution and using that retribution sentencing model of justice that tends to polarize and alienate. It's about healing. Okay? Now, justice in its truest form isn't about punishment. It's about healing the wounds that disrupt harmony with ourselves, with others, and the earth and the cosmos itself. It would do us well to remember that failure is an event, not a person. Each one of us makes mistakes. Okay? But we'd also do well to remember that those mistakes don't define us. What defines us is how we respond, how we bring integrity, how we bring balance to our relationships with ourselves, with this earth, and with the cosmos. We have the power, okay, to restore balance. We have power to heal. Okay? We have the power to move forward in right relationship and the flow of life. True justice does not come from external punishment. It comes from within. Okay? It comes from our willingness to heal, our willingness to forgive, and our willingness to support others in their healing as well. So, as I leave you today, I want to invite you to carry these principles with you. Apply them in your life. Whether it's in a small moment, or whether it's in the context of a larger conflict, take a deep breath and ask, what can I do to restore balance? What part of this can I heal? Now, as we each take these steps, we begin to dream a new world into being. We get to create a world where justice is a force of restoration, a force of love, and a force of healing for everyone. As Brian Stevenson stated in his book, Just Mercy, each one of us is more than the worst thing that we have ever done. Aho.
Thank you, Jennifer. You're always awesome, and we so appreciate your involvement in this endeavor. We really do love you dearly. And Jerry, you're the best. Jerry's one of our board members. She's always in there doing things and helping out, but her talks are just amazing as well. So she's all in the pod. It's great. So thank you, Jerry. Philip Lupo and your tech team, bless you guys so much. You are amazing, and we definitely appreciate you and everything that you do for us. If you are out there in the world and you need any kind of work like this, either virtual or live, go to the address below and get with Philip, and he will help you out. Past services are available on the People of Diversity Facebook group, Facebook page, and also on our People of Diversity YouTube channel. And the YouTube channel has a playlist function, so you can search on faith or you can search on topic. It makes it real easy to find what you're looking for. So if you're just wanting to do that for your own education, or if you know people that are perhaps taking classes or in college trying to learn this stuff, hook them up, because it's an amazing resource. You can get notices about services by joining the Facebook group or the Facebook page or the YouTube channel, and you will get a little notice on Sunday on Sunday morning before the service, and on Sunday afternoon before the Facebook Live second broadcast at 5:45.
Next live event at the Unitarian Universalist Friendship Fellowship Hall in Rockledge will be Matt Venuti. I'm going to read this because it's kind of groovy the way they laid it out. So Matt Venuti will present Americosmos, an immersive live music and visual voyage through the heart of nature, the depth of sound, and the vastness of space. This will be an amazing experience. $30 suggested donation, and no one will be turned away. I don't know if you've seen them yet, but there's some very cool clips and reels that are out there highlighting Matt's work and having some testimonials. It's going to be
amazing,
a pretty groovy experience.
When we booked him, Bob Sima sent him to us, one of our other musicians, and when we booked him, I was like, okay, this sounds great, but man, I tell you what, the things that I've seen, the clips that I've seen and everything, it's going to be way beyond great. It's going to be amazing. So if you can work it out, come on. And if you don't have $30, don't worry about it. Just throw in what you can. If you can do more, that's great too.
So, from a totally different direction, right? On April 7th, our dear friend John Stringer and family will be in town, and he is going to bring to us New Human, New Earth workshop, featuring music, collective healing, and deep connection. $20 suggested love offering for that one, and if you know John, you know it's going to be amazing because he's just such a really, really super connected dude, and it's going to be good to be able to hang out with the Stringer clan. We are now blessing states. We did the entire planet, and so we're breaking down the states. And this week is Alaska. Alaska is the 49th state. It's the largest state. It is filled with beauty, wonder, amazing special growing periods, just an amazing ecosystem of wonder and grace. So let's put some words and prayers together so that they can continue that sacred way, and let's say that together. May peace prevail in Alaska. May peace prevail on earth. May peace prevail in me.
Thank you. Next week, reminder, we are going to continue justice with our Christian representative, my dear friend, Dr. Leslie Rust, Reverend Dr. Leslie Rust from Knoxville. And his musical guest will be Neil McNaughton from Canada.
That's going to be a fun. That's going to be a fun team.
Yeah.
Neil's kind of jazzed about doing this one.
Yeah, good.
He talked about it weeks ago that he was all excited. He's got something for this, so
Okay,
it should
cool.
be fun. Yeah.
If you would like to help support the pod, go to www.peopleofdiversity.org, and you can push that donate button in the middle, and every single bit that you put in helps immensely. And even better, if you would like to set up a recurring tithe, and I'm going to throw a little something out there, a little hint of something that we have in the works. Hint. We are going to start a special, what's the word I'm looking for? Program is a good word for it, for people that do set up a recurring tithe. You'll be able to get discounts on certain things and special access to interviews with our speakers, those kinds of things. We're still working on what that's going to look like. So if you want to set up that recurring tithe, even if you do it now, you'll still be put in. So that's going to be coming out soon. Let's close our eyes for a moment and think about all the things in our lives, in the world, the people, the places, the situations, and put them in the center of our healing circle. We're going to join our energy together and listen to this last amazing song and bless them, see them in love and light. And thank you for being here with us, and we'll see you next time.
Have a great week.
One power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power. There's one power invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth, as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of the love.